from the Accu-Stats Arena at Caesars, Southern Indiana. Welcome to the 2022 Derby City Classic and the All-Around Pocket Billiards Championship. Thank you. Very good, thanks. Pool's most exciting event is being sponsored by Diamond Billiard Products, by Simonis Cloth, and by Aramuth Pool Balls. We also want to express our appreciation to OBQs, Master Chalk, and Outsville for their contributions, and our tireless and great tournament direction staff from Bad Boys Billiards Productions. We're in our 12th year here at the Caesars Southern Indiana hosting us, and we thank them for being such great partners throughout all this time. And our DCC extended family has grown worldwide. All of you out there watching, whether you're at home or you're here ringside, we appreciate what you've done to help make this the most popular and prestigious event on the pro calendar. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, we are back to bank pool. Let me explain where we are and how we got here. 370 players began the bank pool division several days ago. There are 4 players left. The 2 that are going to play in front of you right now. On the outer table, we have the other 2 competitors. That's Fedor Gorst. He's playing Tony Chohan. Mr. Gorst has a rebuy. Nobody else does. We're going to have another match at 7, another one at 9. So stay with us. Let's see who comes through. With that being said, my honor now to introduce our 2 competitors. From Toronto, Canada, he's the 2012 Derby City Bank Pool champion, going for number 2. Sponsored by Predator and Enviro Assessments, one of the greats of our game. Please welcome Mr. Smooth, John Morra. His opponent from Glasgow, Scotland. He just recently won his 7th Turning Stone event. I think he's only played in 8 or 9 of them. So he has a pretty good record up there. And speaking of records, it wasn't just a short time ago that he eclipsed John Schmidt's 626 by running 714 balls in straight pool, a world record, ladies and gentlemen. Sponsored by Perry Cues and Rassin Tables, it's Eagle Eye, JAYSON Shaw. Thank you very much. Good luck to you guys. I'm going to send it upstairs to the comm box now to Double J and Mark Wilson. Take it away, guys.
Truly terrific to have world-class banks to present to the greatest pool fans in the world. Eagle Eye versus Mr. Smooth. My name is Mark Wilson. Here alongside me is the very best pool analyst ever, Jeremy Jones.
Thanks, Mark. And I don't know about that, but these guys a lot of times make it easy. You can depend on their execution and their incredible brains. And good to see these, you know, normally after they start playing, the best 9-ball players in the world become the best bank players because banks is all about a pure stroke and straight shooting, right? They figure out the shots quickly, and they figure out all the different banks quickly just because all the players are so intertwined and they work together all the time. And this should be a high-powered match. And the funny, ironic thing is you got a couple of righties that do about 90% of life right-handed, but they do their best thing left-handed. Yeah. So
that is funny.
Yeah, you got John Morra, who, you know, world-class player on the right side of with the cue on the right side, and switched to, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe, something like that, maybe a hair longer.
Yeah.
And then JAYSON Shaw, who grew up as a right-hander but just started playing pool, Q Sports lefty, and good thing he stuck with it, it looks like, huh?
Right. Yeah. I've never seen anything like it where somebody has returned to be pro stature. Here he is in the top 4 of the bank pool event. He won this as a right-hander. Right?
Yeah.
Now he's coming back. He top 4 as a left-hander.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it.
Well, I think if he wins it, it probably gets a new nickname from Mr. Smooth to something else that's pretty creative and applies. I don't think you're going to see a real duck game with these 2. Sorry, Mark. I think I cut you off there.
No problem.
I played I played John. I actually played him shortly after he won that tournament. I played him some banks, and I played him some one pocket. And of course, he's just a very, very aggressive player, and there's good reason why. It's just because the skills he has, and this guy here, who, you know, has got his picture all over this place in different places for the Bigfoot and whatnot, and just as Kenny just opened up and said Mr. 714 is applied right now. So just 9 ball is not just his game. Jason can play it all. And I'll tell you another one that he's deceiving like Sky. They're very good instincts for one pocket. Not only all that firepower, but great cue ball. You know, doesn't know all the shots, but for some reason tends to shoot the ball in the right direction a lot, which is huge. It's interesting. He didn't try to move that ball up table at all. Maybe trying to make it hard for John to move it up table. I think you got to keep it simple here. Maybe just shave the 3 down to the bottom rail, trying to contain the cue ball off of the cross side bank. On the 4. I think I would go the other way, Mark. I think I would go the other way with the cue ball here.
I guess he's going to snake it off the end rail, side rail, and keep it down here.
With inside?
That's what I was thinking. Ooh.
Oh, drawing it over, yeah.
I thought he was going to go off the end rail to take any. Whoa. He wasn't afraid of possibly scratching there.
Yeah. And the reason why he did that is to get it further over. You know, he tried to anyways, so. Now, percentage-wise, you're going to see these guys, once they get used to this table, they're going to realize it's playing a little easier, the pocket size, right? So I think if, like, say there's a situation where the score is very lopsided in a game, you're going to see the guys maybe go for a ball knowing they can get back in the game if they bury one big one that they may not normally shoot at, Mark, because of the table. And now, how do you escape? This is the part of the game that becomes tricky. How do you chip the ball and run the cue ball back safe up table where he's standing without hitting another ball? Maybe off the 1, 2 rails, go between the 3-8.
Well, that entails quite a bit of danger, and sometimes you'll see, well, he's calling a bank, which that's sometimes a defensive play when you just play a bank that maybe the safety's just as hard anyway.
Oh,
so.
The 4? Okay, the 4 kind of goes. So he's trying to hold his ball off of the 6 and draw the cue ball back.
Yeah, good decision. That was primarily distance as opposed to offense. Efren sometimes will even slow roll down table and just tangle something up and make rather than take a risk of running the cue ball off the 1 ball between the 3 and 8, and then if you get a nick or something, it gets ugly.
Well, and I think we would have saw the same from Jason if he didn't have that bank he could screw the cue ball back off of. I think he would have rolled down maybe on top of the 5, you know, just really guarding, right?
Right.
You'd like to run and get distance, but when you don't have that, you just got to inspect where to get the cue ball back, not to leave a shot. Now, this is super tough. I'm not sure what he's shooting at. Is it the 4 also?
Or the 6.
Yeah, the 6 looks tight.
Yeah, 4 ball. Oh.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
and this is where the difference where John will really go pretty aggressive. Like, I mean, we can take anybody on the planet, and nobody's the favorite to make that. And you see where he's leaving the cue ball, right?
Right.
Yeah, so.
Right there, he's got the 1, he's got the 8. I was watching him warm up for the 1 pocket match, and he was firing in cross sides like mad. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a bank pool tournament. But then you inform me, no, actually, it's 1 pocket. He's got bank pool later.
Yeah, trying to get used to this table. And that's why John makes deep runs, though, in this event. Not only talented, but he's going to take it on, you know, put it on his own shoulders to try and do well, you know. So he's going to take on tough shots. All right, he's got to soft draw this a little bit, I think. I mean, not super soft, but I don't think it's full blast. Yeah, nice shot.
Pretty. He just has a nice pace about his bank pool game, a nice delivery, the tempo, the rhythm.
Well, we talk about it all the time, but follow through, man. Really, it makes the ball hold its line well, and that's something that John always has had in this game, is following through that cue ball. He's got a cross corner on the 6 here. He's got to load it up with some English one way or another. It looks like a straight high ball to me is going to get a kiss. So maybe a hair of left, hair of right. He can go either way, I think.
Pretty nice hit. Out of the pocket. My goodness. Really pure.
Probably stiffs the 5 in here, Mark. This is the type of shot that, you know, if you talk to the bank players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the felt being pretty new, of course, the bank's the first tournament here. The long railers on the diamond are the ones that start off playing the easiest for the players, that really get a lot of slide out of the side rail. So just hitting that mark decently. Yeah, that one. I think that was tough with top English.
You can get hurt now playing that shot too, because even though you have the lead, it's not a huge lead when the balls are open like this. He's sort of fortunate he didn't just absolutely sell out the easiest of cross sides.
I think I like the 3 better than
That's what
the
he's
9.
calling.
Okay. The 3, he's going to bring the cue ball back down for shape. There's no reason to play the safe here, I don't think, anyways. Is he going to the side rail here?
Yeah. Oh, you mean with the cue ball?
Yeah, with the cue ball.
That made it harder. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he just hit a high ball there. High ball, kind of medium speed. That's something you'll hear me say a lot when it comes to the banks. I've always found on the diamonds, especially with a newish felt, the medium really applies to 7 or 8 out of 10 shots. You get an occasional one, you need a little more or a little less, but the 8 does go. Appears anyways.
The other point is that Shaw's decision with the cue ball is not played by the super high-level bank pool players because it takes away from the accuracy of the shot. So they just play topspin.
Yeah.
He was trying to play position, and they just run the cue ball and take care of the cue ball from scratching.
Okay, obviously didn't have a shot there. So a lot of times when the guys can cue the ball like this on the long railer, they're going to shoot, whether it be the 5 or the 8. Again, this is just about medium. You really don't need much more than that.
Good shot.
Yeah.
Good shot. 3-2 now. Morra in front. This is a race to 5 banks and a race to 3 games.
Yeah, they're both about equal, in my opinion, on difficulty between the 9 and the 8 cross side. If he's pulling it with a hair of outside, this one he's got to watch out for the scratch. Nice shot. He didn't pull it, he just ran it. Now 3 apiece, and Shaw's got to be a pretty decent little favorite from here. He's at the table with 2 nice banks. I mean, they sit nice. I think I'd have to shoot the 3.
Yeah, I think it's a similar shot to what John Morra had, but the cue ball's up from the cushion where he can cue it a little better.
Yeah, and the 3's just up a hair off the cushion more too. So, and the thing is, he can win with this one. He banks the 9. He can give up a bank on the 9 if he misses, but he doesn't get out either. This one really offers a chance to get out, which is what you want, I think. And I'd say he's 7 out of 10 here, Mark, somewhere around there.
Yeah, this is going to be a high success rate. Didn't connect.
Yeah.
But you can see he hit it well.
And now he's got to fade a couple banks here, possibly. The 7 will cross here in a moment, most likely. If he gets this 9 down. Depends on how aggressive he wants to go with the cue ball. Looks to me, though, he can slow roll the bank, hold the cue ball, and if he misses, cover up the pocket to where he doesn't give up a bank. That's the play here. Just pinch it here a little bit. Well, he played it firm, so he was going downtown with the cue ball. Should just be the 3 knocked in here.
Yeah, he did try to wedge him on the pocket. I was wondering if he would go for that. Didn't quite get it.
No, the ball on the spot he'll be able to see for sure. He may be able to cross it over. It's just, I don't know if it really makeable crossing it over, really. Yeah, so this is high left, trying to throw the bank back. Now the problem with this, Mark, is if he's off the mark with the 3 ball,
yeah,
the cue ball is going to come 2 rails and give the lefty of Jason a nice 1 railer on the 9. That's kind of where the cue ball wants to go on this shot. So he's got to really kind of cover up that alley with the 3 if he misses it. Boy, he hit it sweet. Now you see how the 3's covering up that alley kind of?
yeah,
And that's important.
yeah. That was a heady play there.
I was thinking you might kick this ball around, but you got to really know how you're going to lay it down. I'll tell you that. He could make the 7 and get him up behind the 9. That's not really guaranteeing you the best of it, because there's a lot of little ticky shots there. And
Right.
you know.
Right.
And the problem with that is you put one on the spot and there's one up table. So if you're the one that has to escape with the cue ball, not many places to go. All right, looks like he's decided to shoot this cross corner. Super thin, 100 miles an hour. Yeah, like that.
Boy,
And he's going to give up a duck unless that 3 freezes.
quality effort. But like you said, the double kiss now turned out unfavorably.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to fire this one in and hold for the bank. As there's one thing to get on the hill, okay, meaning where you need 1. But with your opponent only needing 2, you don't have that big of an advantage. You know, so like right here, he didn't really hold for shape. So
The slippery cloth makes it hard to pinch this with inside spin.
yes, it does. If he's near that rail, if he draws on the 3 up the rail, the 9 becomes a really nice shot. But my point is, when you need 2 and your opponent needs 1 or vice versa, it's kind of the first one to get a shot, because the guys will play shape if they need 2. All right, nice effort there. Totally intended not to make the 9.
Yeah, there was no value in making the 9.
Yeah, and he's just got to slow bump the 9 ball here to the rail and let it just kind of get on top of the 7 a little bit. It's a little touchy, but
If he feels he can cross the 9.
he
can play it straight back.
Absolutely, he can. He's not going to kiss it, I don't think, at all. I think that 7's going to be okay. Type of shot I don't like to hit super hard myself. Like to be accurate. Yeah, I like that. Speed's nice. Yeah,
The hand he got the 7 loose.
yeah, and it's another reason why I think John maybe should have really looked at shape when he shot the 3, holding the ball on the rail for the 9. Just not really much of a lead there at 1 and 2 balls. Ooh, this is 1 rail with inside. Cue ball's not going to get up table as much as he thinks. He's trying to hit it with a high inside, like a 1-pocket shot mark, trying to get a little protection. Now he's looking at cross side. Now, the one thing about cross side is he can play it at a light speed, and that's a little protecting. Oh, heck with that light speed. Cue ball. Oh, wow.
Oh. I didn't think it was going to scratch till it fell in. I thought it was going to hit the end rail.
Yeah, the
Sure did.
tables are slick because, I mean, he did put some speed on that, but he checked it to the side rail, end rail, and it still reversed all the way back down to the corner.
Well, momentarily, Mr. Smooth had lost the opening game, but then the cue ball found the pocket. 2 balls are lined up on the spot.
Yeah.
This is an unpleasant shot to play because if you try to play offense, you sell out if you miss.
Yeah, and, a lot of players are like, well, you're supposed to chip about, a third of the ball and run the cue ball, and you're hoping the 9 and the 7 kind of come back together. The 7 goes to the side rail, 9 comes to the end rail, and they kind of come back together near the spot. I like that shot better than this shot. I just don't make this one very often, and like you said, it does give up shots. And on the slick felt, hard to get it to come tight enough. It wants to throw to the end rail. See, on the new felt, just hard to make it,
Yep.
I think you're better off to fan it with a high ball. Now, you got to go up and down the table. That's the problem.
Now, these guys are so good that you think, well, I'm only maybe going to give up 1. No, they make that second one. If this is the tough one, this is maybe the game-winning ball if he gets any reasonable position.
Yeah, and that's the speed, the medium stroke.
Now look at this. He's so close to the 9. He figures to make this.
Yeah, you really got to cut off the cue ball, right? I mean, you're playing any kind of shots with the lead right there. Cue ball needs to be resting near that rail.
So I think it may be a couple suspect decisions from Morra there that maybe looking back or maybe he learned something. Because you're playing a dangerous guy here that can, kind of, he doesn't need much help. He can make his own help. Now, here's an interesting thing, too. We're, unlike with the 9-ball tournament where we'll be using the Outsville racking template, here they're using a traditional rack.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand why not, but nevertheless.
Well, they got their reasons, right?
Well, I'm sure, but or maybe not. They just had the rack there from when we had the one pocket event, and they just didn't switch it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would think the template would be in order, but nevertheless, here we go.
I don't think I've seen it used out on the outer table. So,
Okay.
well, how you like that 9-ball break?
Well,
We're going to get a little bit of that today, and a lot more of that throughout the week here from JAYSON Shaw.
whoa, look at that. Couple
Yeah.
cross sides here.
Yeah.
Shaw won the break contest last night.
And what was the clip?
Well, he was in, upper 20s, mid 20s, but Hillbilly had him beat, but Hillbilly's cue ball went on the floor once, so he scored 0.
Oh, Hillbilly was there.
Yeah.
In it. Oh, I thought it was just the Final Four of the Bigfoot
It was,
guys.
but we were short. Mika didn't appear.
Oh,
and so
okay.
Hillbilly got in there. Hillbilly, he took it to him. He beat everybody, but then his cue ball went on the floor once. But he hit some crushing breaks, 28 mile an hour.
Okay, he's worried about a little bit of a kissish kind of scratch thing here. He doesn't want to slow roll this bank. I think he just stunned towards the 3 here with the cue ball is what I see.
I agree.
I mean, it's going to be a fast stun. I can't believe he would pass the 2 up. Now, that is pretty amazing
He's just
to me.
too accurate. Well,
I understand the 5, the long. I did tell you the long railers are the ones the guys like on these tables right now.
that gives you total cue ball control.
Yeah, and there was something about that 2 ball he wasn't too in love with. Most wouldn't have passed on that cross side. And now he's in a funny spot, really. Run the cue ball somehow. Oh, he's banking the 7. Wow. So you got to go up in the air with the cue here? This doesn't look like Top English will hold this bank up from this angle. It doesn't appear so anyways.
Well, the high velocity, he's going to bring the cue ball maybe down.
Wow, he got it short. Get you some of that. And now a terrible kiss on the cue ball. This should cost him a few, yeah. You know, and there's probably, no coincidence. I think the guys that are left are really bankers. They're not as so much the safety side of the game as much.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that more and more at the Derby as years and years go by. The talent level's so high. Plus, guys are going to realize these guys learn the defensive side quickly, and, they want to stay aggressive.
With JAYSON shot, though, you're really kind of betting the game on that ball.
Yeah, I wasn't in love with that one.
Because the cue ball was stopped over there along the long rail. He was selling out something if he doesn't make it, and then he got double kissed down where left it much better, but pretty tough.
Right. He's got definitely choices, the 1 or the 5. The 5 looks maybe a little kissish, so it's going to be the 1. And here's all about making that first bank. Of course, you're not going to stop your ball. You got to play shape. Is he stunning forward for the 7, it looks like?
Yeah. Oh, he's backing it up. Where was he going, though? Oh, cross side on the 4.
I guess,
Yes.
but that's a tougher shot, I thought. But that was the one time John kind of, hit at the ball, really. Don't see him do that. He really goes through the ball a lot. All right, 8 ball coming straight back at you.
Shaw filters the cue ball down the end rail, leaves himself a pretty makeable cross side on the 1.
Yeah, for me on the slick felt, really only make this at a slower pace. A lot of people think hard to tighten it up, but really it wants to bounce a little and go long like that when you shoot it with more speed. It's actually, you need to, just like we talk about with the cue ball, give it time to grab the English. You know what I mean, on the side rail? Same thing with when you're wanting it to bite a little bit on this slick table. You got to maybe lighten it up a little bit on that one.
Spot on analysis. That's how Double J got to be the best in the business for providing good insights.
Yeah, lucky enough to be around all these great players.
We got up in Davenport, Iowa, Chris Castell, tuned in. This is a live match, Chris.
He's elevating the cue here, kind of awkwardly as well. Look how he's elevating here.
Most unusual.
What is this for? Straight back on the 7? That's the only thing I can imagine. Trying to beat a little kiss here. And John's got to tone it down a little bit here. I know this race to 3, especially when you get behind, can get you a little anxious. Lucky the 7 may have gotten in the way there.
Well, lucky the 3. I mean, the 1 blocks the 3. It was just all up in the air, but you were leaving the cue ball right down there with all the banks available if there is one.
Again, lighter speed holds it up better. Yeah, like that. Not so hard. And if you ever want to learn how to hook the ball, right, the only way you can make the ball really effectively hook is with stun. Forward stun is the only way it hooks. If you try to draw the ball, you try to follow the ball, could get lucky occasionally and make it hook, but if you really want to learn how to bend the ball a little bit, it's always going to be stun there. Did you notice him with the light stun through the ball?
Well, you can even see how the cue ball just filtered forward, so you know there wasn't spin on there.
No. Took me a long time to figure out how to bend the ball. I was like, how do these guys do that? All right, is this a 4-0 lead now? Looks like it.
Yeah.
So now is the time to be aggressive, especially since he's got a nice one staring him in the face. Same thing as Jason, probably 7 out of 10, somewhere around there. Bank like this.
Oh, that one in there deep, but did not go. Cross side for game ball here on the 5. And just like that, JAYSON Shaw, a 2-0 lead here.
Yeah, and there's so many points for the all-around. I mean, of course, first place really gets a lot more points. Well, a lot more points. I mean, it's nice and relative, don't get me wrong, but what I'm getting at is whoever wins here is going to be a favorite in the all-around, I think, in my opinion. Even though you could say Shaw and Federer aren't the one-pocket players, but you got to like Tony Shohan's position, don't you?
Yeah.
Final 4 of the one pocket. He's got no losses in the Final 4 of the banks, no losses in the one pocket. Hey, and he told me he's 2-0 in his first 2 9-ball events of the year here in 2022. He's won them both. So.
Yeah. Well, he put on quite a show earlier, so we know he's playing good.
Yeah, and he's in a big match against Federer Gorst right now in this Final 4 of the banks. Really had a lot of people show up for the 9-ball that was pretty excited to see. I was wondering about the field there for a little while. I knew it was always going to be quite a few, but had a lot come in that weren't here for the one pocket or the banks. Little spin on the cue ball, but he's not going to mind that.
Muscled the 1 ball into the side.
Yeah, he's got a nice cross side on the 2. Anytime it's real tight like that, pretty easy hit. Meaning you're not trying to make it spread much. It's a pretty tight angle here on the bank. He's going to look at the 5.
If he chooses the 5, it's not because it's so much easier but it's the cue ball control that he gets with it.
Yeah.
He's got to stiffen it up a little bit, looks like.
The 8's good cross corner as well. 8's not bad at all. Pretty big pocket. If the 5's funny at all, though, I don't shoot it. If it's any kind of fun. Yeah, exactly.
I think the 2 is go time.
Again, straight high ball. No side spin. No nothing. Avoid the 6. You're going to not hit the 6. Wow, he's really wanting to play it safe here. It's a great touch. But I think he had a huge advantage there. He's supposed to go ahead and shoot. Because the one thing in one pocket, right? Unless you're just beating the guy this particular way. Oh, I'm just ducking him to death, and he's giving me a lot of shots, right? Well, that's one thing. He's telling you how to beat him, right?
Yeah.
But don't think a 2-0 lead in games you're supposed to start protecting and become passive. that can quickly change in this race to 3. Don't think John Morra couldn't put 4 or 5 banks together a few times, and it's 2-2. So you still have to stay aggressive in the game, even though you have a 2-0 lead.
Pretty hard hit here.
Now, the one thing is just what I said. If you feel like John is shooting at a little too much, that'll tell you, hey, maybe I shouldn't shoot at so much because he's going to give me some easy opportunities. I think he's desperately kind of looking for a long reller, Mark.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up with a 6 cross corner, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you ask most of the players, they'll tell you most of the cross corners and the cross sides have been more difficult than the long railers as a whole. This 2-ball, I don't think it banks cross side, not with the new conditions. Now, I would probably bank it cross corner for a safety. That's what I would probably do. Yeah.
That's what he's called. This is more of a speed shot.
Yeah, and, you know, he knows he's going to give up the 9, right? The cue ball's got to come across some. That's why he's elevating. He's trying desperately not to give up that 9. He's trying to keep the cue ball on that part of yeah, he didn't want to come all the way across. And a really good effort. The 3 does stiffen in probably, but no picnic. Another one, if you really jam it, the ball bounces a little bit, that being the 3, and it doesn't really want to hold up for you. Kind of spreads a little bit. Yeah, like that. He's just over hitting the banks, Mark. You know, and it always that feeling of, oh, I need to stiff it. Oh, that means harder, and it really doesn't.
Right.
It just means like the break shot, that nice connection. Not so much a ton of speed.
He's looking at the 9. Is that what he's trying to see, or the 8?
8 maybe. Yeah.
I don't think he's in the. I think he's going to settle on the 4-ball straight back where his hand is now.
Yeah, I like that, and it looks like to me he could cross the 9 over. I thought, but maybe not. The problem with that is he has to keep the cue ball on that end of the table if he plays that shot. He can't make it drawing it. It's going to come too tight.
And if he plays the 4, he's going into the 2. There's no avoiding that if you're going to make the 4.
Now he can play an easy safety if he doesn't like. There's no problems there. Looks like that's what he's going to do, run the cue ball here. Oh, he's made the 3. I don't know. He didn't get the cue ball very far either. So this is definitely going to tempt John into shooting. And, you know, I wouldn't say this is terrible, the 4. I mean,
no, you can make a nice clean pass at it. And if you score this ball, you can do some serious damage. If you fail to connect, you can possibly lose the game too.
Yeah, cue ball's not coming back safe, that's for sure. I'd like to see that medium by John a little bit. I think he buries these. There you go. That was better stroke. That was better timing there.
Pretty shot.
He's got the 2-ball. He's got the 8-ball. He's got the 3. The 3's probably the last choice. That's the speed on most of the banks, Mark. You'll find certain guys that'll amp it up and stay real accurate.
But it was a super long hesitation at the end of the backswing there. It was almost like he lost his rhythm or something. Most unusual.
Yeah, these 8-ball might squeeze by too in the corner. I mean, looks like to me it's got a chance to use the bottom rail to slide by. Maybe not. Maybe it's a little too tight to take that risk. But, I mean, where are you going with the cue ball if you play the 9? I mean, you're opening up the 5-ball bank, the 7-ball bank. You can't come back down table because the 2's there. Okay, so you're like saying to yourself, I'm making this. is what's happening.
Right. Now you're betting that you make it.
Yeah. He wanted to end the match with that shot right there, folks.
Oh, boy, what a nice open offering here of banks that you have. You can play the 9 next pretty easily. It allows you to be super smooth on this 5. You don't have to do anything with the cue ball, just a little bit of high left. Just make sure you get the 5 ball down.
Yeah, and it's almost like a little drill session here. They're set up over here for several cross corners and cross sides. He got right in between, huh?
Oh, he's disappointed too.
Yeah.
He can still play the 2.
Everything's funny, though. The 2's a little kissish. The 9's a cut. The 1, he's elevated. The 7, he's got to spin the heck out of the cue ball. The 8 now, the 3, long rail, those aren't bad. So he's got a shot really on every ball, just about. The one thing that's funny about Jason is he's played really cautious so far.
Yeah.
To go out with a bridge shot right there on the 9 with so many ducks looming, right? So 2 ball. Cue ball's going to be screaming up and down the table here.
Mr. Smooth feels like the kiss isn't the problem.
No, with a hair of right, he avoids it easily. Because you can cut this a little higher, too, and let it bleed downward on the new felt. The 2 ball. Oh, he did cut it high, maybe too high. Oh, he got it down.
Good shot. Now he's got the 9.
Yeah. Is it 3-1 in banks?
Yes.
Okay.
Good shot there. Aggressive.
Yeah, forcing position there on the cue ball, and he's gotten pretty much perfect.
Game ball. Oh, nice shot. Well done, John Morra. Just that one shot, like he got all the way to the end of his backswing and just held there. Did you notice?
Yeah, he's got a pretty defined pause in the back for the most part. Maybe a little quick with the backswing, which is not something he does very often. So maybe we saw a little longer pause because of that. I don't know, but you're always going to find the guys with the extremely slow backswings. They almost have to have a pause in the back.
I remember being under pressure one time. It was game ball, and I got nervous. I got back up, and then I got back down, and I did all my preps, and I thought it was good, but I couldn't make myself start the backswing. I was so scared.
I was talking to a guy today, actually, about Michael Coltrane a little bit, and I was thinking about you. I was there for that match y'all played in Nashville when you beat him there in the Camel Pro Billiards Series. Never forget that 9-ball match. I don't know if you remember it or not. It was Hill. That was a crazy match.
I would have remembered it if I lost it.
No, you won it. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was in '99, I believe it was. Now John does still break him righty. John very left-eye dominant. Had a little something to do with his issues, right? To where his cue stick and his neck and everything. I feel the pain. I go to the chiropractor a lot. He says it has a little bit to do with pool. I'm the same, very left-eye dominant. So my neck is in a little funny position. And now he's got to go for this cross corner on the 8, I believe. He's got a long railer on the 5 that he's facing pretty good, but he's jacked up on the 7. He's a little cue and funny on the 9. This one sits pretty perfect. Just stay thick on the hit.
Just a little inside spin to avoid any potential double collision.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he makes this, he's going to be right down there in the old.
Yeah. Depending on his speed, probably gets a cross side on the 5, maybe gets a cross corner on the 9, depending on the speed. Like I said, though, stay thick on it. The overcut here is the miss. And he did. Nice shot.
Gorgeous.
Now he's got that 5 ball. He's got the 9 cross corner.
After you score it, then you always wish for just 2 more inches on the cue ball. Would have made it so much better, you know. But then you're happy and relieved that you made the ball. So glad to be at the table, of course.
Yeah, and I don't know if I would have been as aggressive as Jason was with the bridge. I certainly wouldn't have because I'm not that great with the bridge. But I do think he does have to stay aggressive. Don't let that 2-0 lead. That's what I commented on earlier. That's not really – I mean, it's a great lead. It's the biggest lead you could have in games, but it's still not a big lead in this game of banks in a race to 3 9-ball banks. He's playing shape, folks. He's not fooling around. He's coming with the cue ball. That's John's style. So they got him a title here in 2012, and now 10 years later, it's trying to get him another one. I think the 2 goes. It looks like to me with a little bit of outside spin, he can hit the 2 pretty much in the face and throw it in. Don't see why you would shoot anything else. The 9's pretty good too, though. But I mean, if the 3's not in play, okay, I'd like to see him do something with the rack here, or keep the cue ball down here for position. He's just too good of a banker. Yeah, he's like, how do I go through between those balls? Now he's got a nice cross on the 7. No reason to get crazy now. Another one, Mark, you'll see on the slick table. Stay thick. Yeah, nice shot.
Eagle eye. Raining them from down on the table.
Don't think he has the 5 here.
No.
He's got an awfully thin hit on the 1 to run the cue ball. Shouldn't be a problem for Jason. I mean, that's edging the ball, definitely something he does well. Problem is, if he doesn't get the cue ball to the rail here, John's probably going to have a straight back on the 5 maybe, or something else that he's going to be aggressive. Now the 1 came off and had a nice kiss there on the 5, and I'm not sure he left him anything.
That's a pretty good result from where he was at. I'm sure he's happy with it. And there is a possibility he could manufacture a bank shot here, but it's nothing going to be routine.
No, I mean, it looks like technically the 3 will bank between the 1-5, you know, cutting it back and straightening it out. Don't think it's one he wants to shoot at the moment, though. I think it's a lot of cue ball here, running safe. Might pocket the 2 in the corner by the 5 and run the cue ball. Thing is, you want to get the cue ball deep to the right side of the table. That right corner we're looking at right now, just to Jason's left. That way, running the cue ball is very difficult. You don't have the edge of the 4 to run the cue ball off of. So I would try to put some spin on this and try and get to this corner myself. And he's going over here. And the thing is, are you worried about a bank giving up if you bring the cue ball closer to this corner I was talking about?
I think the scratch is as much of it, too.
Yeah, I guess.
He doesn't want to scratch in that corner. And this is an off-angle straight back 6, so that comes with a penalty if you miss.
Yeah, but he's going to bring the cue ball somewhere tidy, towards the 2-4 maybe. That's normally what you would do here, stun towards the 2-4. That way to slow the cue ball down. There's the 6 going to cover up the long railers. I think the 3 definitely banks. Oh, he's cueing it. He's not following his ball. He's stunning forward, so this will be shot at. Watch out for the 3.
That could have turned out a little worse.
Yeah.
This is going to cross over the 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to trickle it over now.
Close range.
Yeah, this type of shot, just make sure you're not losing the cue ball. I mean, you're not a real favorite to make it. You do make it probably 30 or 40% of the time, maybe on the slick table here. Oh, sweet hit there. Sweet hit
Whoa.
there.
Really good shot.
And he'll bring the 6 one rail back. He practiced this shot quite often and warming up for the one pocket and for the banks. Unless there's something else I'm not seeing. Is he going to cross the 1 instead?
Well, I don't know, but one thing he learned earlier was that this really spreads open off this slippery cloth.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of think the 6 is a much more makeable bank in my opinion. Maybe not quite as safe, but this could catch the 6 with the cue ball, so watch out. Got to cut the heck out of this. Oh, he hit it sweet. Sweet.
Oh, boy.
And that's what I was telling you about, Mark. Whenever you stroke the ball and the timing is so good. See how well the 1 came off the rail and held the line right there? It didn't spread downwards so bad, right? When the strokes were as real pure, the ball holds the line. Like Billy Thorpe, for instance. Watch him whenever he's slow rolling a bank on these slick tables. Everyone thinks it's going to spread long and it'll just roll right on its line. What a bank by John there. John's come to play.
Good stuff here. Cross corner on the 5.
Yeah.
Might not be as easy as I was just describing because maybe there is a double kiss at this.
No, high left, he doesn't double kiss it, and he gets to hit it thick enough to bounce by the 4 and then back up table. He should be fine here. Shouldn't have any problems. Now, if the English doesn't take, watch out for the 1 rail scratch in the corner. That's the only thing I may worry about a little bit. All right, cue ball's coming near that corner, but it's okay. Great shooting there by John Morra.
Right, now he's got a ball hung up. He's on the hill.
Now he'll cue downward on the, oh, he's going with a high ball. Okay, so he could leave some type of tricky bank on the 4 here for John. Not sure he will, but he may leave a 1 on the side, or, oh, he did pretty well with the cue ball, looks like. John will just ticky and leave him here by the 4. He may, if he can see the 6, he'll shoot. Can you see the 6? Otherwise, you just ticky the 4 and leave him there. Make him have to escape with the cue ball a little more. Let him see the 6. I think I put it the 5 in play right now. I like where the 6 is at. I put the 5 in play, come 1, 2 rails to the end rail, leave him really off angle on the 4. Can't really shoot the 6 because it's a scratch long rail, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I put the 5 in play, needing them all right now.
Yeah.
Unless he could hit it that sweet, I guess. But
Wow. Gorgeous shot.
Really nice. Can he cross the 4 over towards the 5 gently? I guess not. How old is John now?
Well, you caught me.
Yeah. Caught you without your book, huh?
Yeah.
All right, going rail first. Going to pocket the 5, obviously, but cue ball speed to the rails, super important. Jason's going to shoot at this. Just can cue it too nicely. And a lot of people would say, no, put the 4 in play, and I understand that. A lot of time, well, he's going to put the 4 in play. Okay, that's good discipline.
You get the cue ball in the center of the table, and it makes it harder to play defense from.
Absolutely. I played Nick Varner. Talk about Nick. I put him in that spot, and he wouldn't even shoot. He just tapped the cue ball and put one up. He wouldn't even try to clip the ball and run the ball. Huh. Now, it was deep in the tournament at one point, but
yeah,
he's not wanting to give up a shot, that's for sure.
sometimes it'd be late at night. We'll be in bed. And he'd say, hey, you think we ought to go hit some balls? And I said, well, yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm kind of tired. Yeah, but we don't want to get rusty. That's how much he loves pool.
Yeah, that guy's timeless. All right, still same pressure situation. Even though you need one, your opponent needs two. It's pretty much even money. That's the shot I was talking about earlier, where they group back together, hopefully not leaving too much. But what the deal is if Jason makes one, he's playing shape. So it's not a whole lot of, not too much of a favorite here for John, just like Jason in that one situation a game or two ago.
Well, this is as favorable as it could have turned out for Morra, so you're just going to have to take your medicine here. If the guy makes it, shake his hand, not even worry about it. Yeah, what a shot.
It's like when he wants to put a little more time and concentrate, you know, like put a little more time in before the shot, he gets even better, doesn't he? Seems like. There it is.
Oh, wow.
There it is. John Morra, we're going to lose him in the fourth place finish, or it might be tied for third. We'll see how that other match goes, but Jason Shaw still moving along.
Well, we'll be back with some more action. This has been Elite Class Pool, brought to you by Accu-Stats, the worldwide leader in billiards programming. That's our time for this time. So long for just a while.